trying to succeed where Germany failed during World War II. So we're going to do a brand new series answering that question to see if we can succeed where they failed. So let's do that. Let me just adjust my volume. A little too loud. This game does have very loud music. So let's adjust that. And we're going to jump into this. Alright, so I've done some of the pre-setting already. I've built, I've set up my building production. I've set up my recruiting already, trying to take some of the minutia out of it. I've started the 4-year plan, just trying to speed up and eliminate some of the prep time on our basic start for Germany. Since most people have already seen that before, we're going to jump right into the gameplay. We are using historical time period here, so things at least before the start of the war should progress as normal historically. All right, I've also set up my trade as well. So everything should be fine from a production standpoint. We're focusing on increasing our civilian factories, then we're going to do some military factories, then civilian, and we're going to rotate, gradually increasing production, both civilian and military production at the same time. Alright, trying to take advantage of as much of the historical events as possible, since, as we know historically, Germany was able to achieve a lot of their goals before they even had to fire a shot, so we're going to try to maximize that ourselves as well. In this time period, Germany is weaker than France and England and the United States, so we need to build up our forces and make smart strategic decisions both before and after the start of the war. Alright, we got a decision point here, let's see. We're going to let that run its course. I'm going to turn that off so it won't notify us of that, because we're going to leave that alone. We're not going to make any changes there. Alright, we've completed the 4-year plan. We need an ambitious plan to provide the rearmament and ultimate self-sufficiency of the nation. This should be achieved within the next 4 years. 2 times 100% research bonus for industry, available as political advisor. So all these things are going to be positive towards our infrastructure, which is our initial goal right now. We really want to be pushing the infrastructure as much as we can. This will boost our factory construction speed by 10%, so we're going to take that. Alright, so we can modify the government at this point. So we're going to take the captain of industry, which is going to increase by a further 10% all of our construction. Very useful right now. Okay, so another thing we're going to do, it's one of my favorite strategies, is we need to go over to the good old United States. And we we need to encourage them. We need to boost party popularity of the Fascist Party. That's going to do a lot for us long term in the end game of this game. If we can make the United States nationalist, it will greatly improve our success in this game. We're actually going to do the same thing in Belgium and in the Netherlands. This will also help us long term substantially. By the time we're ready to invade, we want those countries, before war starts here, we'd like these countries to become nationalist or fascist. All right. That's going to cost us some of our political power, but it's going to be worth it in the long run. All right, we've completed our first electronic goal. So let's go on to radio there. Germany's one key factor, or one of the many key factors, is the ability to push our technology as far as possible as a force magnifier. Okay, Ethiopia has capitulated. We want to watch this clock right here. Concerns. Oh, we've got free dockyards. I think that means one of our submarines completed production. So let's actually boost our resources towards heavy cruisers, like so. Okay, let's look at our recruitment. Okay, because we want to push our numbers as quickly as possible. So one thing we can do here is we can release our units early, because we want to push up our numbers in the field over 550,000. So we want to keep popping in on a regular basis and get that number of army in the field up as much as possible. So those troops will get their experience simply through training, so we don't have to worry too much about that. I don't need that notification constantly, because we are not going to start paying our bills to our armament factories right now. Let's look at our war production. All right, we're building plenty of infantry equipment. We actually need more supply than we have right now. So we should probably reduce our artillery for now and increase our supply. We want to continue to produce as much material as we can. Oh, we did basic machine tools, and we completed machine guns. So let's look at that. Let's continue to work on upgrading machine guns. Super important. And then we want to work on concentrated industry, maximize our industry production. And we can let time pass again. Thank you to everybody who's joining our stream. We're early in 1936 with a Germany playthrough. Trying to see if we can succeed where the German Reich failed. National focus completed. All right, that's going to further increase our production of factories. Super important. So we're going to work on keep working on our infrastructure here until we get the army in the field up to that 550 number, and then we're going to then be in a position where we can start looking at making some political moves. Alright, we're doing well with increasing our factories. That's going very well. Right, let's pop into our recruit and deploy here. Again, we're constantly trying to push out our units early here to get to that magic number where we can start making political demands for territories. Right, so that gets us up to 413. We're going to keep pushing that number as quick as we can. Even if we have undertrained troops, we'll have time to get them trained up before we start war. All right, we've completed construction 1. All right, we're going to do excavation here. Again, trying to maximize our industrial growth early on in the game. So important. See how our production is going. All right, there we go. Another national focus completed. Now we're going to build the west wall, which will be important for our strategy of defending against France initially. Oh. We have a research slot open. Go ahead and push the improved machine tools. There's going to be a slight penalty there, but it's still going to be worth pushing forward there. Just because we're actually ahead of the technological curve historically. So they're going to give us a little bit of a penalty. We'll still push forward there. Olympic Games where we're successful. All right, now I've heard some people skip the radio detection, but I found it very useful, so we're going to go ahead and do that. I've never understood why some people do it, just because historically Germany didn't invest heavily in radar till late in the war, but it was still a very good resource to have since we want to maintain an advantage in the air. Okay, let's pause and look at our recruiting. Again, we want to push these units out as quickly as possible. That gets us to 365,000 in the field. Still a fair amount to go. All right, let's see, our construction is going. Oh, we've completed excavation. We're going to immediately go to construction 2. Alright, we can make some moves military. Alright. Alright, we're going to add the war industrialist. That will further increase our construction speed by a higher level. Again, we're just trying to ratchet up that production of factories as much as possible right now. Alright, we've created the west wall, which is good for us militarily. Add maximum infrastructure to Brandenburg, Hanover, Thurgensen, and Franken. That's very good for us. And we're still waiting to maximize our armies in the field so we can get to that magic number where we can start pushing our political weight around. So that's what we're waiting for here. See how our trade needs are going. All right, everything's going good right now in the short term. We're getting all the resources we need and maximizing construction of those factories. Let's check on our recruitment again. Alright, let's push these units out the door so we can push those military numbers up as quickly as possible. That gets us to 494, so we need 100,000 more troops. Okay, then we're going to work on the war economy. This will immediately add 6 military factories. Can't do it yet though. Alright, so okay, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna add some civilian factories. That'll substantially increase our growth. Okay, we're gonna ignore that issue. Events or decision timeout. We are aware. We're going to keep ignoring that as long as possible because it really tips the hands of the Allies by telling them that we're rebuilding our forces substantially. All right, radio detection completed. All right, we're at the max for our electronic engineering for the moment. All right, so we can put that into concentrated research 2. Again, we're maximizing our industry right now. Okay. All right, now we're getting to the point where we would have some negative impacts here. So what we can actually do is spend some resources on military doctrine now. All right, let's check in on our recruit and deploy. See if we have any more troops we can push out. 1. Only 1. All right, so we're just gonna have to be patient here as far as the production of troops. We can only speed it up so fast. Let's look at our construction speed. All right, we've actually increasing our reserves in our for our planes, which is exactly what we want right now. All right, France and Britain announce alliance. Okay, not too worried about that yet. All right, we're going to keep digging into this well of increasing our economy, because we have to get to that magic number for troops before we can start using our making political requests, or start using our energy in political ways. So our national goals, I should say. Alright, making great progress. We now have 47 factories, 48 factories. Alright, construction 2 now completed. Alright, so what we could do now is we can actually put some effort into looking at refinery production, or we can put our efforts into military research. We're going to go for military research right now. We're actually getting close to the point where we're actually going to be substantially increasing our military factories, which is exactly what we want right now. As you can see, we are now have so many factories that we're building on 3 tiers, as you can see here. 1, 2, and 3. And as we add more factories, we're going to be able to do more and more on the 3rd tier. And as you see now, we're actually starting to add military production capacity, which is great. Alright, Nationalist Spain has declared war on Spain. Alright. This is a big event here. What can this mean for Spain? So we want Nationalist Spain to win, which is what happened historically. And one of the main reasons that they won was we succeeded in sending some German support. So not only will that give us something to do, but it's to our benefit here. So let's look at our political abilities here and talk to Nationalist Spain. First thing we can do is improve relations. And we're going to send we got to build an army first. So I need some volunteers. From our Panzer Corps. Alright. So we're going to create a new army. Okay, we're going to assign Erwin Rommel. Very historically accurate. Just 1 second, guys. All right, so now we have the ability to send some reinforcements to Nationalist Spain, so let's do that. So we're sending those reinforcements to Spain. Not only will it get us some experience, but it's good for us to have Nationalist Spain on the border with France. So our troops are on the way. Building slots. All right, so let's look at recruit and deployment, see if we have some additional units we can deploy here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that gets our deployed manpower up to 452,000. We still got a way to go. So let's look at our national focuses. Let's see. We can get an extra research slot. Let's go ahead and do this coal liquefaction. I like that research slot, but getting some domestic oil would be very valuable long term. Okay, we got some developments in China. Hindenburg disaster. All right, let's pause time. Our troops are now on the ground. We can actually support our allies here. So what we want to do is we want to send our troops to help in the capture of Madrid. Let's watch that process. Okay, so what we can do here is what we do now is we then continue to try to cut off these enemy forces here. From supplies, very important. Okay, then we can actually attack from the rear and help capture Madrid. As you can see, the enemy in this pocket is losing resources, resupply abilities. Okay, we got some improved research developments. So let's work on our paratroops. Very useful piece of equipment here. Okay, we're waiting to see if our troops can help capture Madrid here. Taking a long time. Let's speed up time a little bit. All right, so there should be a new capital. Wait, concentrated industry 2 is completed. Alright, so we're going to start working on oil processing. Our volunteers need a little break from the main battlefront here. Break through. Right, there should be, let's pause here, there should be another enemy capital that was generated. Is that enemy capital? Should be, oh, there's Barcelona. Okay, so our Spanish volunteers are going to head for Barcelona. We always want to capture coal liquidization. That was completed. Okay, so let's look at our unit production, military unit production. See if we can get some additional units out here. We're trying to get to that 550 number so we can start pushing, using national moves on a political basis. So let's see. Not quite enough. Not quite enough. Soon. Alright, so national focus. Alright, so we should do the extra research slot here. And meanwhile, our volunteers end around towards the enemy's capital. Alright, we got leadership purges in. Alright, Japan declared war on China. Alright, where's our volunteers? the Cold Ridge incident. Trying to push our way through to Barcelona here. Capitals as much as possible. They're putting up a heck of a fight here. Let's see if we can go to Valencia. Oh. Alright, we've got free military facilities. Okay. So let's try to pull back on our construction of support equipment. Increase our tanks by a good amount. We can actually reduce our production of motorized vehicles. Let's put some extra resources into fighters and fighter support. Let's look at our Spanish volunteers. They need to take a break. Trying to find an avenue where we can push through up here. We're trying to find a weak link where we can use our maneuvers to push through a weak place and get to that enemy capital. See, we should be able to push through here pretty quickly. Okay, and then we should be able to push our way to Barcelona here. If we capture that capital, it's going to go a long way to finishing off the enemy here.